Hello, welcome back to another episode of Kdrama Weekly.
At Kdrama Weekly, we love our K-dramas and bring you reviews and discussions of a different South Korean drama or film every week.
That's right, each week we dive into major plot points, character development, and arcs in each drama/film. We also try and provide some cultural context to common themes using the knowledge we've gained as K-drama stands.
Yeah! I'm your host, Sandra, and I'm joined by my co-host, Benner and Valerie.
Yeah.
This week, we'll be discussing the follow-up to Detective K, Secret of Virtuous Widow, Detective K, Secret of the Lost Island.
Much easier to understand.
Yeah!
Yep.
This is your one and only spoiler warning. If you haven't watched Detective K, Secret of the Lost Island, go do so now before we spoil it all for you in our recap. / plot discussion.
Okay, so we'll get into some info first.
Yes.
So Detective K is a 2015 period comedy adventure film directed by Kim So-hyun and produced by Kim... This dude again, it's the one that has a J and then Ho.
It's
Kwang-soo.
Kim Jo.
And
Ho Kwang-soo.
Lee Sun-mi. It's also it's written by Lee Nam-kyu and Kim Soo-jin.
Yeah.
And it stars Kim Myung-min, Oh Dal-soo, and Lee Yeon-hee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Sandra said, it's the second installment of the Detective K series.
Yeah.
And it topped the box office its opening weekend, earning $6.9 million.
Yeah. Better
And
speak
then
up.
at the end of its run, it had earned $27.8 million, and it became the 9th highest grossing film of 2015.
Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you got?
Oh, okay.
That's all that was given to me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got.
Yeah, I'll do a recap and then Benner will tell us about plot stuff.
Okay.
You mean a summary, Sandra?
Yeah, summary. Not a recap, sorry.
It best be good.
Yeah. So,
We're expecting great things.
good. Yeah, we met Detective K before and his bro, the dog thief, in Secret of Virtuous Widow.
Sandra, it's the secret of the virtuous widow. Why are you leaving out the Z's?
Because there is no the in wherever I saw it.
Well, they were wrong.
Wow. Anyways, that's how I know it. There's no the in
It
it.
bothers me. It bothers me greatly. English properly, Sandra.
I thought it was Secret of Virtuous Widow too.
Oh my jeez.
It sounded kind of funny, but I
Yes.
didn't question it.
Well, I was like, well, they must have had a good reason for dropping the
Yeah.
So, anyways, in this one, Detective K gets exiled for some reason.
Exile.
He's
been
deception, disgrace, evil displays the scar on his face. Wow. Anyway, so him, he's there supposedly supposed to be by himself, but the dog thief sneaks into his island, and then they go off adventuring to try and figure out where the fake silver is coming from, because it's like causing problems financially, and they run into some children and they gotta rescue one, and there's some geishas because apparently the fake silver is coming from Japan. Yeah. And Detective K falls in love, but once again does not end up with the woman. There's some
It's because he only has that weird mustache. He doesn't have a full-on beard.
Yep, that's probably it.
Mhm.
There's also some glow in the dark action,
Yes.
and that's it.
Good.
Yeah.
Get into it, Benner. Get into it.
Yeah, so freaking Detective K at the beginning, he's adventuring. He's entered a Hyungnim, what would you call it? Gang?
Layer. Oh.
Yeah, layer is a better word.
It's a layer, but it
Yeah.
is also a gang.
Yeah.
Both work.
Yes. But he was like
Oh,
looking.
the Hyungnim gang's layer.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh.
But yeah, he had been like following the trail
We blaze.
to find out who was counterfeiting the iron,
Silver.
Silver.
the silver. Yeah, and so he like he finds the dude that had done it, but then like that dude gets killed.
Next slice.
He gets stabbed in the back
Oh.
by
Back
the gang.
Oh.
Back-
yeah.
Would you say he got
Backstabbing.
backstabbed?
They backstabbed
Yeah,
him.
I said he got backstabbed.
No, you said he
Literally.
got stabbed in the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
Be
in my
specific,
head,
better.
I said backstabbed.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so he gets backstabbed. And the gang people, they steal the instructions on how to make that counterfeit silver, so now they can be rich. And they've been stealing a bunch of other things, so they got like a secret layer, like a secret layer
Whoa.
in the
Oh.
underground forest area
Mhm.
where they keep all their booty.
Their
Cute.
booty.
You.
And so Detective K, he has infiltrated the gang, and he figures out by his deducting. Well, first before that, he beats up his bro because he got to pretend to be
Part of the gang.
Yeah,
Mhm.
got to pretend to be tough.
Yeah, he beats up the dog thief dude.
He beats him up, and then eventually they like find a lair, and then they find the instructions on how to make the counterfeit silver, and they're about to like blow it up. They do like start a fire and stuff in there, but then they like come out, and the freaking gang is like right there. And so they lock themselves into the booty chamber that's on fire.
Yeah.
So now they're about to like die from the fire, or they're about to die if they go out
By
and,
the gang.
yeah. And so
So they make
but it's
explosion.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
they make an
They
explosion.
create a vacuum in there so that when those dudes finally open the door, it blows them up.
Yeah, maybe the people from Exit should have like taken notes. But yeah.
No, because the people in Exit did not want to get blown up.
But they could have made a vacuum to make the air go away. But anyway,
They didn't know it was coming out.
What?
It was a silent boot. Silent and deadly.
Oh no.
You were right. It was the worst time.
Anyways.
Yeah, so they make it out of there, but then like fast forward like a couple months or something, and freaking Detective K is exiled on an island. I don't know what happened, but he must have like gotten
Done something
estranged
useless.
with the king. He must have like stolen his erotic novel or something.
Or I think he was like gonna get in trouble, but to save him, they exiled him. That's what it
Ah.
sounded like.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's just hanging out there on that island.
He'd be bored.
Mhm. But it's
Living the
okay
bored life.
because his freaking bro comes.
Yeah, to keep him company.
Makes him some soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically his maid.
Yeah. And he's like, you gotta go because if they know that you're here, we'll both be in trouble.
Yeah. And there's freaking guards who come and like check up on him.
But they're too lazy to actually like get onto the island.
Yeah.
So they just like check from afar.
They ask him, they're like, "You're a prisoner," or whatever his name is, right? And he's like, "Yes."
I can't with them. But yeah, so they're like living their best exile life on the island when a small child makes it through
Very small.
the ocean.
Yep. She
Swimmers
comes
on
swimming.
the way.
Swims.
She
through the
swam all the
ocean.
way from the mainland.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and she's there because she wants Detective K to help her find her Dongseng,
Yeah.
who has gone missing.
Yep.
If
She's
I
a
am not,
slave girl.
yes, she is a slave girl, and if I am not mistaken, the Dongseng got lost because the sister let her go by herself to watch an exorcist. But yes,
Mhm.
she
I
gets
missed
lost.
that part.
Yeah.
I think I saw it, but I forgot it.
I saw it and I was like, wait, did I just read that right? But yeah, that's how the Dongseng got lost.
Great.
But Detective K is like, no, I will not do it. But she is very stubborn, that young slave girl.
Why does he keep saying no?
I don't know.
Because he's living the exiled life. He don't
I
have to
guess
work.
so.
Mm.
I guess he doesn't want to get in more
Involved.
trouble.
Yeah. He could die.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And
Well,
so-
I mean, he on like pretty normal basis, he goes and almost dies.
That's
Well,
true,
who
but he
knows?
doesn't want to die because he hasn't solved the
Oh,
Rubik's
pretty
Cube yet.
regular basis is what I meant to say. I was like, what is the word that I'm looking for?
Wait, what did you say?
Normal basis.
Oh.
Wow. But yeah. So he says no, but the little girl keeps coming. And
Then she becomes their maid.
yes, she's like, oh, I'll become your servant if you do it, but he's like, no. But she does it anyways. She'll like cook his meals and like she cleans his house because it was a mess, and she like even brooms the dirt outside.
Mhm.
You know,
Um,
that dirt broom and
Yup.
Mhm. And
Been
she's
there.
she's really smart. So eventually Detective K takes a liking to her because she can do the math.
Yup.
Oh,
and
man.
she wasn't taught how to do it. So he's
Oh,
quite
man.
impressed.
Yup.
But then one day there's like a storm and he like yells at her because he had told her not to come that day because he knew that there was gonna be a storm. But she came anyways. She swam through the
Oh,
storm.
is she like leaving
Yeah.
and coming back?
She
Yeah.
leaves and comes back every
She
day.
orakarax.
Oh my god. I can't believe you. But yes. So she comes to the day of the storm.
Or
and
was
then...
it kadawaso?
What?
Kadawaso is also to leave and come back.
I can't remember.
Carry on.
Anyway,
Carry on.
wow. But yeah, so she comes back and he gets really angry, so he says some mean words to her. And then she like runs back off to the home, and then the next day she doesn't come, and then it's been like a
Mhm.
couple days and she still hasn't come. So he starts to get worried.
They're starting a podmance, I see.
Wow,
What?
no, it's a bromance.
I can't
He's
believe
also practically a haraboji.
You see?
He's an old ajushi.
yes.
He's not a young one.
Anywho, then I don't know how he gets word, but he gets word that
He gets
there's-
wind.
He does get wind. Must have been through a message in a bottle. But he
Or a seagull.
gets a what?
Seagull.
Wow. He gets told that there is counterfeit iron again.
Aigo!
And he's like, what? And
What?
so he
They're like upset because it's making the poor people poorer basically. So like it's crashing the economy.
it's causing inflation. That inflation.
Mhm, mhm.
Inflation.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, we need to save the poor.
Yes, so he decides to call up his buddy,
Barista
friggin'
buddy.
Yeah.
and he comes in a little boat.
Yup.
That
He
was
died.
almost-
He died last movie.
He
Yeah.
did not.
Nope.
But
Lived.
the dog thief is like, why did you call him? Wasn't he our enemy before?
Yup.
And Detective K's like, nah, he cool.
Yeah, and so they call him over, and they leave him there on the exiled island, pretending to be Detective K.
Wow.
And the freaking guards, they buy it. Although one
Yeah.
of them's like,
Isn't he shorter?
Yeah.
Because Barista Buddy, as we all know, is a
Way
fun
short.
size.
Yes.
Wow, I can't believe you just said that, Tina. I cannot believe you.
Valerie
Best
is
believe it.
triggered. She's
Ah.
been called fun size her entire life.
I
You
only
gotta
go by
embrace it.
stubby.
You
It's
gotta
not
embrace
fun
it.
size, Sandra. It's snack size.
Oh,
my
that's no, but
Jesus.
snack size is bigger than fun size.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm stubby.
Okay.
I go by stubby.
Anyways.
So yeah, they make it onto the mainland, and he goes. The first thing he does is he goes and looks for the little girl, and he gets to like her house, and like her mother has lost her mind because at this point she's lost both her children. So we
Mhm.
learn that the little girl is missing as well. So he feels bad because
Yep,
like
yep.
he was mean to her. And
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and they also learned that a lot of girls have been going missing.
Mhm.
Well, they've been sold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
sold off.
Then
Deport them.
yes. They run into the gang members again who recognize them, and so they're like
Oh, yes.
chasing after them. And so in order to like escape them, they start
they try to go into the courthouse, but there's
Yeah.
a guest coming, so they're like, we've released all the prisoners, so go
Like-
home and come back tomorrow.
Yeah, because he makes the dog thief punch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, he punched the noble.
Yeah.
But they reject them, and then so they start stripping
No,
in
first-
front of them.
First, he's like, I escaped my exile.
Oh,
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're like, really? Come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So then he starts stripping.
Yeah.
And then they bring them in, and they're
Yeah.
like, what is wrong with you?
Yep.
And
yep.
then the gang comes in, so they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll just come back tomorrow. We're sorry. And then they're like, but you escaped exile.
Yeah. But they're
the-
saved because Detective K's Hyung buddy just happens to stop by.
He's the special guest.
Yeah, and so he helps him, and he's like, go back to the island, and Detective K's like, okay. And he doesn't go back. He ends up going to, he finds out like the place where they're suspecting that the counterfeit iron is coming from, which is a Japanese village. And so they go to there, and their investigating begins. Yeah, they like try to go to the ships where the iron shipments are coming from. And he's not very good at carrying them, so he gets kicked out.
Yeah.
But then he meets a geisha.
Well, before that, he had gone to this dude that sells like metals, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And that dude was he was asking him about how they make it or whatever.
Yeah.
And as he was leaving, he tripped and he ran into this daddy, this young sir who punched him. And he was like, to the dog thief, he was like, I think that was a woman.
Yeah.
And we later find out that it's because as he was falling, his hand landed on her boob.
Pyongtae.
And that's why she punched him.
Yeah. But yeah,
And then that's when he goes to the ships, and then he meets the geisha.
yeah, but she don't like him.
Mhm.
She just ignores him.
She
She's
is
there
the
strictly
dude
on
that
business.
came out of, that was going into the shop.
And smacked him.
Yes, yes. But then eventually they like end up going into the what would you call it?
What?
Would it be a brothel? The
Wow, it's a
geisha?
kibang,
A kibang.
Yeah, they keep on.
but with geishas. A mixture of geishas and giseng.
Yeah, he goes in there because he's trying to investigate, and he gets suspicious of a musician dude who is pretending to be blind, but he's not actually blind.
Yeah.
And so he tells him that he has to spy on the top geisha there and
Which
report
is-
back.
She's the lady he saw at the ship.
And so he's supposed to report back on any suspicious behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what happened after that?
they go to a gambling place
Oh
Yeah.
yes, they do go to a gambling place. Why?
because
They're trying to get some of the silver to
yeah. So
examine
one
it.
of the dudes there is like he's a big gambler and he used the silver, I guess.
Oh, they saw him at the docks, and so they think that he's connected to it. But they were like, oh, maybe not because he's like an official.
Yeah.
But that's the dude that they end up following.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so they do get their hands on one of the iron, but the freaking geisha,
Silver banner,
one of the
silver.
silver, yeah.
This ain't Iron Man.
Yeah.
But the freaking geisha shows up, and then she ends up like stealing it from him because he's freaking Detective K.
He
so
can't
can't
handle
with him.
the women.
No, he can't.
He like gets really dumb.
During when they were starting to gamble and she sat down next to them, he told the dog thief, he was like, you mustn't get distracted. And then he turns over and the dog thief is all what's he called? He's all focused on the cards and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, you weren't distracted.
The dog thief is really good at the gambling.
Yeah.
Detective K.
Because Detective K had already lost like most of their money.
Yeah.
So the dog thief had to step in and win it back.
Yeah, until they won a bunch and they got their hands on one of those counterfeit silvers, and so they took their leave, but then they get trapped, and then the gang that has been
Yeah.
following them shows up too, and so everybody's trying to like kill them.
Basically,
But
there's a big old brawl.
Yeah, the geisha like saves them, but also steals their silver.
Mhm,
Yup,
mhm.
Yup. Then what happened after that?
Well,
Mm.
then there the blind dude the blind dude, he's not really blind.
The
guy that
Gayukum player.
Yeah.
whatever, the dude that they put to follow the lady,
Yes.
he gets hung.
So
Ah,
yeah.
So he's dying and they find him and they save him.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
and
so-
they take them in.
Yeah, he starts living with them. And then what?
I think that's when they a ship like
Oh yeah, there's a ship that like explodes
yeah
or something. There's a shipwreck and
Yeah.
all the servants are like looking through all this stuff and trying to gather some of the riches, but then a bunch of dead girls float to the top, like
Yeah.
young girls.
Yes, and this whole time, that little village has been getting dead little girl bodies.
Yeah.
Floating in.
And the first body that Detective K was able to investigate was way back when they first got into the mainland, and he went to the magistrate place.
Yes.
Because they brought in a dead girl, and he like went to go look at it because he thought it might be the little girl who had come to visit him,
Mhm,
but it
mhm.
wasn't. But then he notices like that they're getting like cyanide poisoned.
Yeah, because
And-
like everyone assumes that they just drowned, but
Yeah.
that's
Mhm,
not the cause of death.
So then he realizes that they're using the little girls to make the counterfeit silver because it has cyanide on it. So
Mm-hmm,
they're dying.
So they
And-
must rescue the rest of the however many children there are.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And eventually they find out that it's an island where the fake silver is being made.
Mm-hmm.
And he like goes there and he sees it, but he like scouts the area.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees that it's highly guarded, so he has to come up with a plot.
Yeah.
Yup.
Doesn't he try to enlist his like bros help?
He eventually, yeah, cause the Hyung runs into him when he's at the Japanese village, and he's like, I thought I told you to go back to the island. And he's like, well, he tells him like how far he's gotten
In his
on the trail.
investigation.
Yeah, and he's like, give me some more time, and like once I like solve the case, you can take the credit for it. And so the Hyung is like, fine, and he's like, just send your army or whatever, and he's like, okay, I'll do that. But then there's suspiciousness with the Hyung, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he's looking and fishy, that Hyung.
Mm-hmm.
And we later realized that he's actually working with the freaking fake blind dude who's actually.
Hey.
What?
Calm down. We're not that far yet.
Well, I don't know what happened after that.
Well, after that shipwreck comes in, the little girl that was going to his island is there. She
Yeah.
died.
She died.
And
He feels bad.
she has
So much guilt.
in her hand, she has a candy that she was munching on. And he realizes it's the same kind of candy that they have at the Kibang.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes and he confronts the lady.
Mm-hmm. The
And
head
yes.
Kisen or geisha.
So then he makes a plan to watch her, follow her in the night.
Mm-hmm.
Because he suspects she's also the lady that was dressed like the dude.
Yeah.
And the lady from the gambling place.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes into
Well, he knows
her...
that she was at the gambling place.
Yeah.
It seemed like he didn't. But anyways, he makes his glow-in-the-dark potion, which he had been perfecting on his island.
Yep.
Yep.
And he...
By putting it on the dog thief's lips.
Yes. he makes a little contraption so that the door, when it's open and closed 3 times, it'll spray.
Yep.
And so he planned on making it get her so that he could follow her. But
Then an assassin arrives.
yes, an assassin enters her house, so he helps her, and then the assassin leaves and he gets sprayed. So he follows him out, and then he's like beating him up, but then the assassin leaves.
And then he runs into the dog thief, and they can't see each other, so they spray each other with some glow in the dark stuff. And so when they're fighting the assassin's head is glow in the dark. And then I don't know if it's Detective K's feet or the dog thief's feet.
It was the dog thief's feet.
The dog thief's feet are glow in the dark, and Detective K's arms are glow in the dark. So they make a full person.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah, but then he's running after him, I think. Oh
Yeah.
wait, no. Then the gang arrives again, and they start chasing him. So then he hides in the lady's room, and she manages to scare them off with her gun.
And to hide him.
Yeah. Then dog thief returns home with blind dude, and he turns off the light. Or
he's like, gonna go to turn off the light.
Yeah.
The blind dude is eating.
And so he's like blowing at the candle, and you know how they flicker
Yeah.
when you blow at them. So when it's flickering, the blind dude's eye area is glow in the dark. Because it turns out he's the assassin.
Oh, you didn't see
So
that
he's in cahoots with the Hyungnim.
Yep.
Cahoots.
Cahoots. And we're not talking about Kahoot.
Wow, everyone knows what cahoots.
I'm just
talking
making
about.
sure,
I can't.
Sandra.
Wow.
Well, and so that blind dude realizes that dog thief has figured it out, and he stabs his neck with a chopstick.
Ah, no,
No.
such a waste of chopstick.
Right, and then a bunch of blood sprays on his food, and so he gets huffy and leaves.
There you go. He kills everyone on his way out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we think dog thief is dead, but we later find out that he was rescued by this chubby Gisang that really likes him. And that he was like acting like she was not attractive because she was chubby, which is rude.
Yeah.
But anyways, meanwhile, Detective K has managed to get to the island and is investigating over there.
Yes.
And he sees all the little girls that are there. And it turns out that some of the little girls are being sold off to prostitution to Japan.
Japan,
Which rude.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's if they're like if they have started their period.
Yeah.
So once they've pubertied. The younger ones are the ones that are forced to make the stuff.
Yeah.
And while he's kind of prowling around, Detective K runs into this little girl, and it turns out she's the little girl that used to come to his island, Stonseng, that she was looking for.
True.
But he's not able to rescue her just yet. He has to go back and bring reinforcements so that he can rescue all the little girls.
Yep. So he goes back and he finds out Dog Thief Buddy has been stabbed.
Yo!
And then he's fighting with assassin dude, and then the lady geisha arrives, and then they're fighting. But then the Hyungmin comes with his army, and he betrays him, and he gets him locked up.
Yep.
And then when they're locked up, Detective K they bring in the gang that was after him to beat him up.
Yeah.
But I guess he had expected this to happen, and he made a deal with them.
Yep.
And so they like pretend to kill him and then let him go.
Yep. Because
In
they're
82.
like, we don't want to have no children be dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then Detective K gets Dog Thief, and they go to the island flying.
Yeah, they paraglide there.
Yeah.
That's another thing he had been working on his
Yeah.
exile island.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they saved the children.
There's
but
many much explosions.
Literally so many explosions.
Dohe, the Dongseng of that girl that had been going to his island, she was separated because she had been trying to escape. And then the assassin has her and is about to dunk her into a big thingy of whatever, probably
Like
to make her the
acid.
Joker.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he saves her, and then he kills the dude,
He uses some math.
and then they escape.
Yeah.
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 And then we find out that the geisha was the main one was also one of those little girls. She had also been like sold
Sold.
off
Yeah.
to Japan.
And
By
the
assassin
mastermind of this was the assassin / blind / musician dude.
Yeah.
He was working together with the young.
musician. He is
Mhm.
not a part-time magician.
No, he's not.
He's just a musician.
He's
Part-time
like-
blind musician.
and part-time counterfeit.
Didn't we
musician.
have a
No, he's an assassin.
Didn't we have a magician that was? Oh yeah, in the 100 Days by Prince, we
Yeah.
had magicians that were not part-time musicians.
Yup.
Yes.
And then in this one, we had a musician that's not a part-time magician.
Oh man.
Yup.
Watch our Spellbound episode for
Yup.
for what's it called? For
Reference.
context.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the little girls get rescued. The gang helps out,
Yes.
and then that General Hyognim dude, he gets blamed for it. But he'd rather, or they take all his like money away that he was making off of the fake silver.
Ah yes.
And selling the children
Yeah.
to give back to the poor, and he can't live without his riches, so he commits the suicide.
Yep.
Happens. It seems to happen a lot in these historical ones.
Right? Well, I guess,
That is
they had
was all the
nothing else
rage
to
back
to
then.
live for.
Like
No TikToks.
Yeah, it was a dark time.
Mm-hmm.
But the geisha goes back to Ilbong, back to Japan.
Yeah.
wearing Korean clothes.
Yeah.
Angos.
Because before she couldn't be her Korean self
Mm-hmm.
because she was undercover. She was also investigating.
Oh yes, we forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
She was investigating for whatever sir she was with.
Yeah, her
Japan.
like own, I guess her master,
I don't know.
I don't know.
who turned out to be pretty nice
Guess.
to her. It sounded like. And then we get like a cutscene to Detective K and Dog Thief investigating some weird deaths.
Yep.
Some people have some bites on their necks.
Aw, man.
And I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys where this is leading.
You didn't explain the bite, Sandra.
Oh, well, I mean, what more needs explanation? There's some
There are
bite marks
bites on
too,
the
like bite marks on the necks.
Yes.
And then there's some like dude that's floating that's coming at them,
Mhm.
and they run away, and that ends. That's a
He-
teaser for the next one.
Yeah.
Aw,
This
man.
is the next one. Look forward to it. Detective K, Secret of the Part-Time Magician.
Wow.
I
I can't. It's Detective K, Secret of the Blood-Sucking Demon, or Detective K, Secret of the Living Dead.
I thought it was zombies when I saw that.
Yeah.
But no, it's
Zombie.
part-time magicians.
Yep.
Wow.
Them blood-sucking part-time magicians.
Yep.
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 Oh my Jesus. I can't. What were your guys' favorite parts?
My favorite part was the glow in the dark scene.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there was also more glow in the dark when the geisha saved him from the gang.
Yeah.
He he left, and then like she turned off the light, and she had hand marks on her boobs and on her butt.
Yo.
Yeah. But yeah, that scene was great.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then also when they were flying on the
Oh
paraglide,
yeah. Oh yes.
that was pretty funny. That's great. Yeah. But I think that's it for Detective K, Secret of the Lost Island.
Mhm.
Join us next time for another K-drama review. In the meantime, follow us on the social medias. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Kdrama_weekly. Find us on Facebook at Kdrama Weekly Podcast, and email us at kdramaweeklypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah! You can also visit our website, kdramaweeklypodcast.com, where you can find all of our podcast episodes as well as some blog posts.
Yeah.
Yeah! We also have a YouTube channel. We put out new reviews every Wednesday, exclusive to YouTube, and we also release all of our podcasts in video form on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
That's it.